Well, here's Taylor. And then here's Bradley. It doesn't make any fucking sense, mate. It's like, you'd realize this game is just fucked. Like, you just completely realize this game is completely evil. Because aren't you guys missing an... You'd be like, Taylor? You'd be like, oh yeah, Taylor, mate. Ellis, Kansas. Lexi Amron. And Russell, Kansas is Mason. And you realize, you're like, why is their name Lexi Amron, mate? It's like you just forgot that Taylor and Bradley were a real thing. Here comes a fucking stupid ass to try to explain to me. Here comes dumbass to explain to me in passion how it really goes down in GTA, and like, you're like, what's going on here? You're like, these are the actual... You're like, remember when Ellis, Kansas had a Taylor living there? You're like, remember when Ellis, Kansas had Taylor from Ellis, from the Ryan faction? You remember when Russell, Kansas had Bradley from the Kyle faction? You're like, where are they at, mate? They're right here. Like, what the fuck, mate? You're like, where did Taylor and Bradley go? You're like, Brad and Chad. You're like, where's Ryan? Where's Kyle? And you're like, Taylor from Ellis? They're just sitting on a fucking random ass Swallow website from London with the Taylor as their mascot. The Minster hat. And you're just like, you're just sitting here like, woman's wear from Peckerwood. You're just like, what the hell is going on here, mate? These are the actual people that used to live in Russell and Ellis. You know, Kyle faction, cheerleading, volleyball and all that jazz. And then the Ellis, so it'd be Russell, golf and football and wrestling, Bradley, Kyle faction, and then here's Taylor from the Ryan faction just sitting inside of a website, and you're just sitting there like, you're just sitting there like, so you guys forgot who Taylor and Bradley... I was like, why? This is what Michaela was here. I was like, dude, where the fuck is Taylor and Bradley at? I'm like, I'm supposed to be inside the dormitory with... I was like, I'm supposed to be Taylor's roommate. I was like, now you know, I was talking about Omega with black hair. I was like, I said, oh, Alpha are always supposed to be blonde hair. This would explain it. I said, Alphas are always supposed to be blonde hair. I'm like, where the fuck is Taylor, mate? She's just sitting inside of a fucking random ass website on GTA 5 online, mate. Gradophone. I just don't know, mate. You remember, it's like you just sit there and you're just like trying to remember things. Right? You're just sitting there like trying to remember and you're like, why is he talking about, you're like talking about, you look like a Chad, mate. I'll be sitting inside of a car with Sherry Burns. And you're like, why is your name Sherry Burns, mate? You'd be like, why is your name Sherry Burns, mate? That's kind of the point, dumbass. You're not supposed to know who Bradley is. I was just like, what the fuck is... Why is your name Sherry Burns, mate? It's supposed to be Taylor. You work at Vaporscape. You're just like, why the fuck... You're the youngest girl You're 21, are you not? You just turned 21 a couple months ago. Taylor. I was like, I dated Taylor. I was like, I already dated Taylor, mate. And it's just like, Mason Smalls is Bradley. And you just start realizing that you start like coming to the conclusion. You're like, and you just realize that your name was Sherry Burns your whole life, and you're just like, what are you talking about, mate? I was like, I have Wednesday Addams over here. I have the Addams, my star scourge with things like this, so your names could be turned back to Taylor and Bradley. That's just your real names, mate. Taylor Amrine. Bradley Amrine. That's kind of the point, mate. I don't understand why Lexi Amrine and Kate Amrine have been filling in your places. It doesn't. I got my star scourge here. It's like, my name is Valkyrie Elysium. I'm like, I don't know, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, this game. And you'd realize you thought you were getting to them the whole time, right? It's like you thought you were getting to them the whole time. You'd realize they were just saying, go kill yourself the whole time. You're just like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that, mate. You thought you were getting to these people, right? You just realized they were just telling you to kill yourself the whole time. I was like, I got a hexacrylophone for that. Looks like this girl looks like the girl that works at Vaporscape, does it not? And this guy looks like the guy that works at A&W, does it not? And you're just like sitting there, and you're like, they're like sitting there like, my name was Mason Smalls my whole life. And she's like, I was Sherry Burns. And you're like, no, mate, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. You would have never found this for the last 1 million years, would you? You would have never found this in the last 1 million years. This is the second time I've been here, which they should make sense of it now. You just realize your life was a lie the whole time. Lies of P. You'd realize you're supposed to go play Lies of P because you're rich. You're supposed to go play Lies of P, and when you die, it says you have lied, and you'll remember that your name is Taylor, and you'd remember that your name is Bradley. I was like, what have you all been doing, mate? You're just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on, mate? It's just gotta be the weirdest fucking thing, mate. I don't know, but this is just weird to me. You're like, where's Taylor? Where's Bradley? And it's like, they're in the game here. It's just like, what the fuck is this, Africa? Why is it what? First of all, beautiful brainless, no brain bear has their back. This is what cyberbullying looks like to me. Red bear, beautiful brainless beachwear. Is this not cyber spider? Is this not a cyber spider? Or, like, is this not a you'd realize this is what cyberbullying looks like. They're literally stuck inside of this cyberware. They're inside of literally cyberware, right? It's called cyberware. You'd realize this is what cyberbullying looks like. I just don't understand. It wasn't me, mate. It wasn't me, I'm telling you it wasn't me. This is what cyberbullying looks like. What I was warning you guys about. Like, basically put, Taylor is always supposed to be the mascot for females, and Bradley is supposed to be the mascot for all the men at all times. It's like we have numbers now. We have numbers for that now. It's like a look that says you are forever 16. It's like, you mean forever 17, mate? And you're just sitting here like, I worked with Bradley. I fucked Taylor as Sherry Burns as a Warren story. And you're just sitting there like, beautiful brainless beachwear. This is what cyberbullying looks like. This is cyberbullying, is it not? You're like, you would never ever know this about this website. You just would never ever know this about this. You're like, this is like the first edition of this fucking website. Like, how old is this website, mate? You're like sitting there like, I got your back for everything, mate. Even if you were stuck inside of a cyberware. I got your back for everything, mate. Even if you're stuck in a cyberware net. I'm 10th dimensional, mate. I got your back for everything. And you're just like, you'd realise you're just playing GTA San Andreas the whole time. And you're just like, who's playing female? And you're just like, nobody, mate. It doesn't happen anymore. I don't have story mode. Damn, I don't even have it bought. I don't have bought the story mode bought in this, on this upgrade. I just can't remember what happened before. I just don't know. It just doesn't process. It really just doesn't. Because this was a thing. This was a thing before. When I was in the box in 2013, you'd be able to go to this website. In the year 2013, you were able to go to this website. It's like stealing the trend of 15 seconds of fame. It's like it's just like stick forever 16. It's like forever 17. It's supposed to be forever 15. You're just like, why is it forever 16 then? And because you'd realise they're like, we just turned 16, mate. And you're just like, I don't give a fuck, mate. Forever 15. They're like, you'd realise that the reason that it's called Forever 16 is because they're like, because we just turned 16, mate. And you're like, this has got to be the scariest shit you've ever seen in your entire life, mate. He's like, I don't know, mate. It's just a really weird. It's just really weird, mate. I don't know, but now you know why I be playing in Mortal Kombat all the time. Like, I don't got time for this fucking bullshit anymore. You realise they're still in the same trend. They haven't even changed the website. They're just lazy at this point. You still won't be, the cops still won't be called on you for running a red light in the game. You're just like, well, that's unrealistic. The cops won't even be called on you if you're hovering over the kill yourself option. The kill yourself option shouldn't even be in the game. I said I bought an upgrade, mate. Not a down. I wasn't trying to get a downgrade, mate. Not even worth $1, mate. It's not even worth 1 merit, mate. You'd realise this game is completely evil. Bad and good evil. You'd realise, how does a game itself have good and bad evil? You'd realise they were just all dragons the whole time. You're like cyberware, cyber spider, sensible sesame. You're like, this is what I'm not playing, mate. This is what cyberbullying looks like today. You got Taylor. You have Taylor inside of a fucking cyberware. And you have Bradley inside of a cyberware. And you're like, who did this? And you realise it was just ghosts the whole time. It was just ghost wires. You'd realise you were just playing a huge ghost wire for the last 13 years. You're just like, no wonder the new generation is so fucked. You realise why I left the generation, why I said I'm going back to the people that are just smoking crack. We're not even smoking crack. I'm just going back to the old generation. I'm going back to the 16th century, mate. You know, I'm going back to the 16th century, mate. See you later. You realise you were never supposed to be playing stuff like this in the 16th century. Ghost in the 16th century is a little different than a ghost today. I'm from the 16th century. Seth is from the 16th century. You are forever 16, I guess. It just doesn't make any sense, mate. It just doesn't. I didn't do this. You realise you're just playing a ghost wire. So that's... Since 2013, you just realise you're just playing a ghost wire the whole time. I don't know, it's like the forever pop trend. Like forever pop. You'd realise you're just you just realise your GTA Online character was just 007 GoldenEye. You realise your character was just GoldenEye from 007 the whole time. And you realise you'd just be sitting there being stared down by a dragon. You're just like, well, I'm actually I'm actually Luna Freya, mate. You'd realise they were just trying to use tonnage on you the whole time, and you're just like sitting there like, I don't know why, this is the second time I've been here trying to get you out of here. Mr. and, what is it? Mr. and Mrs. T? Here's Mr. and Mrs. T, the Tunkin family. That's literally their name. You said how does cross reform come into real life? You'd realise their real names in this game is literally the Mrs. and Mrs. Tunkin. You're like, I bought this fucking, this from GTA, I guess. You'd realise that their names in this game is actually Mr. and Mrs. Tunkin. And it's just sitting inside of a fucking Klima's apple. And you'd realise it was just sitting inside of a ghost wire. You'd realise Apple Klima's is also just a ghost wire. It's like they say have everything in America, I guess, these days. Dragon blood, mate. I'm drinking dragon blood. I'm a vampire. And Frank. What do you mean, mate? You'd realise this game is completely evil, mate. I don't see how y'all just sit around playing this game like nothing's going on. I was like, we have in between us for stuff like this, because I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'm still working on cyberbullying in real life. It's like I had to actually You'd realise I had to have cyberbullying for real life in GTA 5's universe. Pretty Little Liars, are we? You'd realise I've been working on two different. You're like, what's the other? And you're like, Pretty Little Liars, are we? And that's all I need. I don't know, but you'd realise I was working on two different cyberbullyings. One was bullying and one cyberbullying. Real life is cyberbullying and this real life is bullying. I was like, it's still called bullying in the year 2013, mate. Get it right. It's like their names in this game is Mr. and Mrs. Tonkin. There is no last name or first name. You'd realise that this is just Mr. and Mrs. Tonkin from 2013. It's like it was just sitting there. Like, why is it called Forever 16, mate? It's because Taylor said. It's because Taylor said, well, I'm actually 16, man. And you're just sitting there like, that's not the point, mate. It's supposed to be Forever 15. Pretty Little Liars, are we? Like, Pretty Little Liars is for the universe of GTA 5, of San Andreas, London, Australia. And you'd be like, why is this shit in this game, mate? Like, how real does it get? How real does it really get? It's like you just realise you forgot what words were, apparently. You're like, how is this real currency? The word ATM, mate. What is this? You're like, how has it turned into real currency? I'm like, I got a fucking drink from a ghost wire. Like, I got a fucking, I'm working with Kung Lao, Lester. Now, I'm working with, Harley Quinn, Kung Lao, Lester. Now I'm working with the Mr. and Mrs. Tonkin family. From the In-Betweeners. Which is just weird to me, because these are actually the Mr. and Mrs. Tonkin from the In-Betweeners, which is just weird to me. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, mate. Forever 16, mate. Because you just turned 16. It's just, you just realise it's just what it is. I was like, you gave me a sheet paper, it makes this stuff way easier, don't it? You gave me a sheet paper of what I actually am. And I just find the solution and make it not a problem anymore. Forever 16 because you just turned 16. Forever pop. It's supposed to be forever 15. Because you're supposed to be a pop star, so it's Forever 16. Because you just turned 16. It's something shit. That's something the Ryan faction would. That's definitely something the Ryan faction and Ellis would say, is it not? You're like, she's 16 years old, mate. Bradley just said, she's only 16 years old, mate. You're just sitting there like. I'm looking, look what. You're just like sitting there like. How did this come to be, mate? You're just sitting there like, how did this even come to be? You just realise you were playing San Andreas stuff at the time. It's like, and then you start realising where the kill yourself option actually came from. You'd realise this is actually the exact, where the exact kill yourself option came from. Swallow, a cyber bully. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, mate. You wanted to know where this kill yourself option stems from, and I just showed you, mate. Comes from a cyberware. From that exact website where it's like, look here. If I put it like this. So this could be seen the same. If you ever needed to just kill yourself in the game, you ever have the thought of killing yourself, you could just click on here. Basically is what I mean. I don't know, it's just, I don't know why they didn't take it off. You'd realise it was just Taylor and Bradley fucking with you the whole time. Cyberspace. You just realise this game is completely ridden with fucking ghost wires. It's like, what the fuck is the point of playing this game? It's like, I thought I was playing a fucking game, mate. It's like, basically put, mate, you'd realise the game, the real solution to the real reason for all this is Minecraft. You'd really realise that game Minecraft is completely fucked. You realise that your world was taken over by ghost wires like back in 2013, mate. You realise why I have Mary on my chest here. I dated Mary at a point. I was like, who could take care of this? I'm like, Mary can. Haley Kelsey. You like, well, how are you gonna take care of this? I'm like, that's what I'm trying to fucking explain, mate. I was like, that's what I'm trying to explain, mate. I was like, you gotta put caffeine behind counters. You gotta put cocoa beans, Folgers coffee behind counters in order to get rid of this fucking game, mate. You just have to, mate. I mean, look at the girl on my chest is crying. I was like, there's nobody else in the entire given universe that has ever found this except for me. I've just been doing this. I was like, at the end of the day, you just go outside and you realise you're just playing GTA San Andreas for the last 24 hours. Well, the difference is I'm on Huo's time, mate. I'm on Huo's time, even if I'm in electronics, I'm still on Huo's time. I'm a dragon, mate. You were fucked by a dragon, mate. That's what you don't understand, mate. You were fucked. My name is Alex. Alex Chen is my name. You got fucked by a fucking dragon, mate. Get bent, mate. You got fucked by a dragon. So they're just weird fucking ghost wires all over this fucking game, man. You got fucking Harley Swins here. It just... It's just like sitting there, talking about the obvious direction, and you're just sitting there, like, sitting there at the obvious direction, are we? You're just talking about the obvious and stuff weird, just weird shit happens in this game if you just state the obvious. It's like they never had anybody in the entire known universe come to this far in this game. And they're like, shit, we didn't know someone was going to be able to realise this. And you're just like sitting there like... I don't know, mate.